Hi, my name is Thomas and I'm an alcoholic. So this is actually an intro video to the video series which I wanted to present and to upload and first of all on YouTube and patreon.com about the life, my personal testimony of being an alcoholic and how I actually of drinking for 10 consecutive years daily. I stopped drinking in 2006, February 21st, for the 15 consecutive years up to date. So briefly in this intro video, I will be just covering, we will go through all the major parts of upcoming videos, which I actually, topics, subtopics, which I'll cover in the upcoming video series. So actually, we will be going through identification, actually the symptoms of being an alcoholic person, and actually that is definitely confirmed for many years already, at least as far as I know, for 20 or even more, that alcoholism is a disease and it is really dangerous, and it's actually not just for that person who has issues with alcohol, drinks and kills himself physically and psychologically, but it also contagious and contaminates the persons around you. Don't get me wrong, it's not COVID, but it's actually really dangerous. It's called alcoholism, and I'll be covering also these points of the upcoming videos. So we will be covering also in order you to actually to identify yourselves of the mindset, of the habits, of the behavior of me like an alcoholic person, because it just not has to do with the physical status, like I'm drinking too much and I can't stop, but it actually has deeper roots, because alcohol is not just a person who can't stop. Actually, this is a major point. What identifies and distinguishes the alcoholic person from the person who drinks too much or doesn't have any issues, like can't drink 2 glasses of wine, beer, vodka, whatever, is not ability to stop by being promised to do so many times in a row to yourself or to other persons, other relatives, wives, husbands, children's, fathers, moms, whatever, friends, right, girlfriends, it doesn't matter. So we will be covering those points, and by listening to watching my story, my true testimony of my personal life, you'll be able to match your life and by certain general common points which actually links to all alcoholics personalities, the persons who have issues with alcohol drinkage, because you will be different from me by the age, by the family status, by the educational level, by where I'm from, let's say professor's family, religious family, by having, so let's say, certain persons who had issues before with alcohol, or you don't have such persons in your families. You live in America, you live in Arabia, you live in Lithuania like me. You were drinking each 2 days, 2 days in a week, 1 week in a month, 2 weeks in a month. Then you will be able to start by 2 weeks not drinking. It doesn't matter. So you will be finding out actually what really differs and what really links the persons and how actually to identify yourself. And you'll be able also in the video series to understand how actually you'll probably feel the terror, the horror of the life I went through, especially that loneliness in not being able to get friends, or let's say in my story, not being able to properly live at all, to work, to connect with the friends, to connect with the opposite sex. Without drinking and alcohol, I couldn't be able, to do those things. Like the alcohol was like a medicine, guys. So for now, it's very kind of feeling that the kind of I'm totally who am I speaking about, like it's totally different, Thomas. But because, guys, the 15 years of sobriety passed till from 2006 when what was the last day when I stopped drinking. So before it was 10 years, now it's 15 years. So it's already 5 years more over that drinkage period. So when you guys will stop drinking for 10, 15, even more than me years, right? You'll be able also to speak like more or less easily, like not about yourself. But this is a true thing, because nobody like me will know those details that I will actually disclose to you in the further upcoming videos. So we will be covering all my story, what I was drinking, how I actually identify myself, how I understood the death issues, how I went through the divorce period, how I used psychiatrists, psychologists, medicines, and actually it didn't help, how I tried to promise to myself, had deeper faith to stop, how I promised to my wife, to relatives to stop, how everyone believed me, then how everyone did not believe me, how I actually failed myself, how I actually didn't believe myself after all, and all the the feelings, the emotions and everything, and how the miracle actually happened 2006, February 21st, when I actually was granted access to so-called Minnesota 28 days detox program without any medicine, without any injection, based on 12 steps Alcoholic Anonymous, in abbreviation AA program, where I met actually the same alcoholic persons who had issues, but at that time few of them were 15 years sober, and one of them was drug addict, 6 years sober. So I found actually the same people. I felt like I'm alone probably with that, problems, but actually I found there are a lot of newcomers who entered the first day with me, who had been sober in that Minnesota program, detox clinics, for 20 days. And those social workers, alcoholics also, for 15 years. I could just wow, what, like 15 years? Come on. And then when I went, actually, we will go and cover other thing, which actually, other miracle, the biggest famine in the world I faced, and I was allowed to enter, is Alcoholic Anonymous closed club. It actually is only for the person who have issues with alcohol. This is the biggest family now I have for the past 15 years. I didn't have any friends, but now I have many, 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 thousands of friends, guys. I was alone, but now I'm not alone. So, in that thing, in 28 days Minnesota program, in Alcoholic Anonymous, I found family. I found, the same problems having persons, and they were hopeless, helpless. And also at that time I found the people had been sober for 1 year. Wow, like I was like, what? 28 days sober in that club, And there were 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years even. Can you imagine that? I was like, what? But this is the truth. So I'll explain how actually I spent those 20 days, how that No.1 Miracle happened, how No.2 Miracle, Alcoholic Anonymous Club, happened and entered into my life, and how it changed my life completely, and I'm a totally happy person now. And I don't need an alcohol at all. I'm not even thinking in the hardest situation, guys. I was like in the smallest, tiniest situation. I felt like I need to drink. But I said, no, I will not drink. And there was like a fight, like in a boxing ring, I was fighting myself. You promised yourself, Thomas, now you don't drink. You promised to your wife, to your girlfriend, to your mom, to your wife's parents. But then again, like I wasn't able to do so because I had no ideas. Now but after 2006 I had a strategy, I had a plan. The high power, the creator, the God, whatever you can call, this is so easily been granted to me. So about those things, actually, you need to know, and you want to know the way out out of that bad disease, and how to behave with you, your relatives, what they have to do, what they can do, and actually the sequence of the tools which you personally and your relatives have to do in order all you to prevail and all be, like you having issues, problems, person to get sober, and the relatives, the loved ones who couldn't help you also need to know some information. We'll be covering all those points according to my experience, being 10 years drunk and 15 years using the methods, the recipe, the medicine, so-called in commas, to be sober. So guys, thank you for attention, and I hope to see you in the first video after this intro. And as I said, we will be going all those points which I mentioned in this video. So see you soon. Bye bye.